Silent light. The rain had just stopped, leaving a faint scent of wet earth in the air. In a small London apartment, Clara was wringing out the last of the washed clothes. The flat was tiny. 2 rooms, 1 window that faced a gray courtyard. But it was spotless, full of warmth and quiet order. In one corner stood her sewing machine, the steady rhythm of her life for the last 5 years. She had orders to finish, 5 school uniforms before evening. 3 done, she murmured to herself. If I hurry, I can start on the customer's evening dress too. Just then, the door opened. Her husband, Daniel, walked in, phone still in his hand, face tired, or perhaps just annoyed. "Is lunch ready?" he asked flatly. "Yes," Clara smiled softly. "I made your favorite, roast chicken." Daniel threw his phone onto the sofa and sighed. "You know what happened today?" "My manager said the report I made wasn't as good as Emily's. Then he had the nerve to say, 'Women are more responsible than men.'" Clara didn't reply. She knew when silence was safer. Daniel continued between mouthfuls. "You women. Give you a little space and you start thinking you can run the world." Clara's fingers froze on the edge of the table. He pointed toward the sewing machine. "And when will you stop wasting your time on that thing?" "It's not a waste, Daniel. It's my work." He gave a short laugh. "Work? Please. A few dresses and a handful of coins? You call that work? Does that pay the rent?" Clara's eyes dimmed for a second, then steadied. "When you were laid off last year," she said quietly, "it was these few coins that kept food on our table." The fork in Daniel's hand paused mid-air. He looked away. "Anyway," he muttered, "I'm earning again." "You can stop now," Clara smiled faintly. "Some work is not for money, Daniel. It's for peace of mind." Daniel's tone sharpened. "Peace of mind?" "A woman's peace should come from her husband, not from a sewing machine." That night, they slept under the same roof, but in 2 entirely different worlds. The next morning, Clara received a call from a local fashion boutique. They had seen her designs, photos sent by a friend, and wanted to hire her as a part-time seamstress. At first, she hesitated. Daniel will be furious, she thought. Then she looked in the mirror, tired, yes, but still full of quiet fire. "I've mended other people's clothes for years," she whispered. "It's time I mend my own life." She said yes. Within weeks, her work stood out. Customers began asking for Clara's designs. Her touch was gentle, her sense of style simple yet elegant, European minimalism with soul. 3 months later, the manager announced, "We're promoting you. You'll design the next season's collection." Clara could hardly believe it. Her name appeared on the store's front banner, "Designed by Clara Hughes." When she held her first real paycheck, her eyes filled with tears, not of money, but of dignity. That evening, she returned home. Daniel was on the couch, eyes glued to the TV. "I got paid today," she said softly. "I was thinking of getting you something nice." "Don't bother," he muttered. "Your sewing money doesn't matter to me." Clara looked at him calmly. "Daniel, maybe that's the problem. You think a woman's worth depends on what matters to you." She picked up her bag and went to her small workroom. Her hands trembled slightly as she touched the fabric, not with sadness, but with strength. Months passed. The boutique owner called her in one morning. "Clara, we want you to launch your own label. We'll be your investors." When the day finally came, her name appeared in gold letters above a glass door. Clara Atelier, London. The opening night was filled with journalists, models, and buyers. Daniel stood quietly in the crowd, watching his wife, poised, confident, radiant. For the first time, he truly saw her. After the speeches, he walked up to her and said softly, "Clara, I'm proud of you." Clara smiled, gentle, steady, forgiving. "Thank you," she said. "I waited a long time to hear that." Moral of the story: a woman's strength is not measured by how much she earns, but by how deeply she believes in herself, and how silently she rebuilds her world when others doubt her.